Hello, found footage fans, and welcome to We Found a Tape.
Tape Talks.
Welcome to Tape Talks, a special new series from We Found a Tape. Here we sit down with directors, filmmakers and cinematographers to deep dive into the creative process behind found footage filmmaking, from writing and shooting to the journey of bringing these unique stories to life.
Welcome everyone to a special episode of Tape Talks here from We Found a Tape. We're joined today by the creator, director, writer, actor from the incredible found footage film FOXHOLLOW. A lot of people will know him as Ritual Video 666 on Instagram. We know him as Tom Hughes. Welcome to the show, Tom. We're so excited to have you.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Hell yeah. And one thing I'm certainly curious before we start diving into FOXHOLLOW and the creation of that. I was really curious on the origin of Ritual Video. So tell us a bit about yourself, your work, and really where it all started for you with Ritual Video.
I kind of started probably about 12, 13 years ago, just shooting stuff. Like, got a camera from a friend, started making like little short films, just me and him acting in it. And then I got a job at a production company when I was like 30. So I was working in kitchens before that. And while I was working in kitchens, I was like writing stuff and shooting stuff after work and like making little short films and putting them on YouTube. And then I got a job at a production company, worked there for a couple of years, and then I started like camera assisting on like indie features, TV stuff, like ads and things. I was doing photography, and I was helping other filmmakers do music videos. That's how I kind of started. And then after a few years doing that, then kind of dropped off working for other people, started doing stuff myself. And weirdly, like when I first started, it was in Wales where I live, like pretty much all around the UK, just kind of going and shooting stuff. And then kind of as soon as I went on my own and was like, all right, I don't want to work on commercial TV anymore. Like I want to make horror, I want to make metal. Because I wasn't doing any of the stuff I enjoyed, man. You know, I was just like, I got to tell people I worked in films, but I wasn't really happy with anything. I was really sucked, and the type of people I was working with sucked. And I was like, fuck this. I need to go and do weird stuff, you know. I need to go make my own stuff and do the kind of thing I want to do. And then I was lucky. I started Ritual maybe like 10 years ago. And when I started, kind of straight away, labels from like America and stuff got in touch with me, and I started like working just pretty much like consistently for the last decade with like bands abroad. They just send me footage and I cut it, or I'll write a narrative and I'll shoot a story and then I'll cut that together and send it back to them.
That's fucking awesome.
It's just hard now because AI is screwing me, man. Taking my job. Sucks.
I've noticed that, AI can, do a pretty good job, but still there's just something that requires that human touch that, makes it what it is.
It's got that uncanny valley thing, like the High on Fire
Right.
video. Did you see that? Like it almost pulls it off, but it just, the faces are wrong, the eyes are wrong. I don't know if there's too much distance between eyes or what's going on, but yeah, it's sorry, my dog's whining. Yeah, it's not putting me out of a job yet, but it's cut my videos in half this year, I'd say. Like from what I would normally do, be able to kind of support myself doing music videos, I can't do that anymore. So I had to do some regular jobs. I'm looking for a job at the moment. Yeah, so it's made the workload harder because I'm trying to do films and at the same time keep the lights on with music videos, but also having to like do cleaning jobs and like work in kitchens and stuff just to get a bit of money in, you know.
Of course, yeah. That we were talking just before you came on, just about how fucking horrible it is to see AI in videos and films and
Yeah.
a recent example I saw the Justin Long film Coyotes that
Oh
came
yeah.
out, and the coyotes were clearly made in AI, and it looks like
Right.
fucking dog shit, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I hate it. My work life, they're trying to make us, try and integrate AI with our workflows and all that, and I'm just so anti AI, like not
yeah,
only just because it looks like shit, but it's like try to tell it to do something. I'm like, you're so dumb. Like
yeah,
I'm telling you right now what I want you to do. You're not doing it. Like, why are you not doing it? It's like, oh,
yeah,
I'm so sorry, sir. I'm like, just fucking do your job, man. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Like in terms of
yeah,
the creative aspect of AI and how it's used in the modern age, it's just fucking so low effort. And
yeah,
it's the classic use of like physical media is a huge thing for me, and
yeah,
like the physicality of handling a camera and getting some grain on
yeah,
something. Like, oh man, you can't beat it. You can't program
yeah.
anything to do it. So
I
yeah, it
think
fucking
it's
sucks.
the generation that we are a part of as well. It's like growing up with videos and renting videos and having a VHS collection and like,
Yep.
the all the first horror experiences I had were renting Evil Dead and watching it by myself, on like a little combi TV, like the pop the video in the bottom half of, and like all the magical memories and stuff that got me into filmmaking is all through physical media and it's all through practical effects as well. There's no I even before AI, I was like, I don't know about the CG stuff. I fucking hated it. Like The Descent, they did it right. Like there's the Neil Marshall film The Descent, because they had like
Yeah.
people in, they had like dancers and people playing the creatures, but they had prosthetics on. Like, yeah, I miss that.
Yeah, for sure. And Neil Marshall, Dog Soldiers
Yeah,
is
man.
another fantastic example of Neil Marshall work that's just prosthetic. Like that,
Yeah,
those werewolves that they had in there were fucking phenomenal. One of the
yeah,
some of the scariest, and like even American
yeah,
Werewolf in London, the transformation that they do with that, like a lot of that is it's all practical effects because you
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
really have that
yeah.
access that you would do now. So
And they were like,
yeah,
he had panels underneath the floor and stuff, and he was like
yeah,
crouched underneath the floor controlling, and
yeah.
half of David's body was like in the wooden floor of the room for like hours, wasn't it? It's like people suffered to make those effects look good,
Oh
man.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and with that, we watched Fox Hollow the last few days. What a refreshing take on not only found footage, like the full documentary, but like the Bigfoot lore. Was something that it's almost like low hanging fruit for a lot of filmmakers, to put out like a
Yeah,
Bigfoot film. You don't
yeah,
really see very much, and you can really just try and get away with that. And
yeah,
for
yeah,
this, it was so well done and such a great way of making dread and making just that experience like so immersive. So I just want to say
well,
we're
thanks.
massive fans of of Fox Hollow, and
I appreciate
it's
it, man.
now I keep like a short list of just not only found footage films, but like specific subgenre
Yeah,
of found
yeah,
footage films.
yeah.
And this is absolutely one that is on my recommendation list for
Wow, that's
people
cool.
when they're able to
Thank
see
you.
it. So I just wanted to say that to start with,
Like
get that out
I
of the
just
way.
love I love Bigfoot, I love cryptids. So like for me it was about like I was already doing research anyway for fun. So like before I was making the film, and I'm like I've got a leg sleeve of cryptids and I'm adding to all the time. Like I love
Hell
monsters, I
yeah,
love cryptids. So the Bigfoot thing was like I wanted to make a film about it because I knew enough about it to be able to write it into a script without having to do loads of research or feeling like I was writing something I didn't know, like I wanted it to be something that people who are into like cryptozoology can watch and be like, oh, this is them doing that, this is them doing this, oh, that's there because of this. Like I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just, oh, here's a monster, I'll make a film where people run away from it. I wanted to actually be like a Bigfoot film that has something to do with like the community and like the there was stuff I cut. Like there was full scenes with like the history of it and like Trapper around a campfire talking from the first sighting and the naming of Bigfoot up through all the Native American stuff. And like the only reason I cut it was for pace, because it just slowed everything down too much. So I had to get
totally.
rid of it. It's on the Blu-ray and the extras. Um, but yeah, like there was even more. Like I nerded out so much that it was like I had to reduce stuff and go, oh yeah, you need to ramp up the tension because it's supposed to be a horror film. You can't just sit down and talk about Bigfoot for 90 minutes.
Absolutely. And on that, just I'll let David come in because he's a big cryptids fan, so I'm
Oh,
curious to know
cool.
his thoughts. But just before I go into that, there was one particular scene that like had me cracking up, and it's when you're both sitting around the fire, and you're like, so why did he call you Trapper? And he's like, well, I was
Mm.
born on June 6th, 1966, and it just cuts to you like. Oh, it's exhausting listening to people rant like that, and I'm like, oh, that's so fucking good.
And it was such a long scene too. Like that was the start of a monologue, and that monologue did go on for 8 minutes, 7 minutes, because he'd done this whole like when he was hanging out with like biker gangs in his real life in London in the 70s and 80s, he went to like a Native American giveaway, and the only bit he added for the character was that he was given a totem that was like a Sasquatch. But everything else he told in that actual story just happened to him, when he was in London, like hanging out with bikers in the 80s or whatever. So, yeah, it was a shame to cut it, but like I had to. And when I got there, I was like, I don't want to lose it entirely, but how do I not have it go on for the next 8 minutes of the film? So that was my solution to just like hard cut it.
It was perfect. There's a few films that I really love that have these sort of hard cuts, and it's just such
Yeah,
like it's such a well thought move. Realistically, another film that we like, Winemaker. There's another like similar kind of feeling scene where it's like talking and talking and talking, and then it's kind of like this hard cut, like
yeah, yeah.
this guy's fucking going on. I love that. But yeah, David is a huge fan of cryptids. So I'm definitely curious on your thoughts, David.
Yeah, so I've been into things like, aliens, UFOs, even paranormal sightings, ever since I was in my teenage years. But aliens and UFOs seem to be a big thing for me. So and Bigfoot too, of course, Mothman, all the classic ones. And then you've got your weird ones that you come across like Dover Demon, things like that. I'm curious, being a cryptid fan, what are some of your favorite cryptid films?
Um, so Bigfoot first, Willow Creek, I think, was a big inspiration on FOXHOLLOW because it's like low budget with only like two actors. Um, Exists, even though it's higher budget, that's good. And Lost Coast Tapes is good.
Love that.
There's a new Mothman film that my friends just made called The Point Pleasant Tapes, which is good.
I
Um,
actually just recently saw that one.
Jesse
That was pretty good.
Pollock, yeah, he did the Acid King documentary about Ricky Kasso. That's fucking awesome too. If you haven't seen that, it's real good.
I haven't.
Um,
And
Ricky Kasso is the guy they used on there's an Electric Wizard album, Time to Die, and that's all about the Ricky Kasso case. And he was, do you know Jim Van Bebber? Do you know his stuff?
No, I'm not familiar.
He's Jim Van Bebber's a legend, man. He's like an underground American director from like 80s, 90s, and he's still making stuff now. And he made a film called Deadbeat at Dawn as his uni film, his third year uni film, shot illegally,
Oh yeah, Deadbeat at Dawn.
acted
I've
himself.
seen. Yeah,
Okay,
Deadbeat at Dawn.
so
I've seen. Yeah.
after he did Deadbeat, he did this short film called My Sweet Satan. That's about Ricky Kasso. And he acted that himself as well. And it's fucking amazing. There's a scene where he hangs himself in jail. Spoiler. There's a scene where he hangs himself in jail, and he actually just fucking hung himself for the shot. Like, yeah, he's one of those filmmakers that's just like, if you ever need to feel like you need to get off your ass and go make some in, like watching interviews with Jim Van Bever or his films, like, okay, I can definitely go out to the woods in the rain today if this guy is shaving half his head, piercing his nipples, and hanging himself on camera.
That's wild.
Um, what was the rest of the question? Other cryptid films. Oh, Frogman, dude.
oh,
Frogman's good.
Oh,
oh,
Frogman's
Frogman was so
dope.
good. I
Yeah,
still
and
want
I
a replica of the wand.
yeah, I got a Frogman tattoo recently. It was the last cryptid I got, Frogman, and like I wanted to see that film for years, but I couldn't get it over here. Like nobody had it. And I found like one copy on like Film Treasures, the website's called. And yeah, as soon as it came up, I was like, fucking buy, buy, buy straight away. So I got it. There's only one copy in stock too.
That's gnarly. Yeah,
They're
Frogman is
actually working
so
on
good.
a second one, right?
Yeah, yeah, he is. Yeah, he's making another one, which I'm
Yeah,
chuffed about.
they
It's
finished it. They showed it, I think, at Fantastic Fest.
mm,
They showed it, so I think it's due to come out. Yeah, Frogman was awesome.
yeah,
Anthony
real good.
Cousins nailed it.
Yeah.
And also as well, he worked on another film called Old Wounds.
Oh, okay.
We had a friend. It's not like a cryptid or anything, but like, it's just such a great film. Stephen Hugh Nelson, and also I think her name's Carrie Grant or Casey Grant or whoever is the main woman in Frogman. She
Yeah.
starred in this movie as well. It's like a
Okay,
three-person
cool.
cast.
Yeah,
Old
yeah.
Wounds, so good. It's
Oh,
really well done.
look it up.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Cool.
Um, yeah, that's cool. The Frogman tattoo sounds dope.
It's he's got the finger, but she did it. So my girlfriend tattoos me like she like drew the FOXHOLLOW poster, she did the costume, she played Bigfoot in the film, like we kind of make stuff together. Um, Come here then, sweetheart. Come here, come here. Look, I'm talking to people. She's sorry. My girlfriend's not home yet, so the dog's lonely.
Yeah,
Come up on here then. Come up on here. Where the fuck was I then? Tattoos. Oh yeah. Um, yeah. So yeah, I kind of roped her into tattooing me for free now, which is how I got the Frogman tattoo.
perfect. Yeah,
Nice.
And I'm making a web series as well where I'm going to do a Frogman episode. I'm doing like a reality TV, cheesy like History Channel style show, um, where I'm like looking for cryptids. And
amazing.
one of them's gonna be Frogman, definitely.
That's amazing.
Nice.
I'm really excited for that. That sounds
I
cool.
started shooting it already, man. Like, we went away in a van for my girlfriend's birthday, and like we had this big fucking camper, and I was like, okay, that's gonna be the van for the show. So I just shot everything I could possibly need for all the episodes in the week that I was away in like North Wales. So yeah, I've already got a whole bunch of footage. I'm going to start editing it when I finish cutting my new one, which I'm doing now.
Amazing.
That's
I love
awesome.
that.
So you'd mentioned that your girlfriend was wearing the Bigfoot suit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the process in creating the suit, or was it just kind of like a second, like a, I guess like a purchase suit, or was it something that was created?
Yeah, yeah, it was just a gorilla suit off eBay, man. It was like £50.
Oh wow. Okay.
Um, like I'd looked at good costumes, and they got those ones that are really tall and the eyes are like in the neck. You know what I mean? So you're looking at the neck, so you get the extra height and stuff. But the whole budget of the film was like 500 quid. So the suit alone was like $800 or whatever. I just couldn't afford it. So I bought this gorilla suit off eBay, and she sewed longer hair onto it so it hung down a little bit more because I knew we weren't going to see it much anyway. Like I knew like there were actually shots where we did catch more of it that I pulled out of the film because you could see it too clearly. And like it's one of those things where if you see it, like it's like how Michael's mask in Halloween 1 looks cool and evil, but then if it's just lit flat in 4 or 5, it just looks kind of goofy. Like that's what the costume was like. It was like you can't like
Yeah.
you can't show it too much because it just looks too cheap basically. But she did paint it, and like when we pulled up the head, like the plastic of the gorilla's forehead actually went up to like kind of a Harry and a Henderson's height, which was cool. So
Ah,
we cut all the fur off the forehead, painted it, sewed a bunch of extra hair on different colors and some gray hair and stuff. um and then I just kind of got her to do the like Kane Hodder, breathe in, uh, as a substitute for being able to speak, and using your body language instead of doing lines. And yeah, I think it was like it would have been better if we had a expensive costume, but I'm a big fan of like setting yourself limitations and sticking within those limitations and doing as much as you can. And I think it kind of helped the film because my favorite bits, I think, just staring into darkness, really, because it's always going to be scarier than whatever I could show you anyway, isn't it?
totally. Yeah, it's definitely a good way of putting it because I think with that, your mind will play more tricks on you than your eyes will. So
And
that's
the anticipation, isn't it?
yeah,
It's the Hitchcock bomb under the table thing, man. It's just that was my whole thing with the found footage thing, and why I want to continue making stuff within the genre, why I love it so much is if you break down Blair Witch, really all you've got is 20-25 minutes of really good backstory, so that once you get in the woods, you don't need to see anything for the next hour because your mind is full of the folklore of the world and what could be there, you know. And that was like it's what I tried to do on Foxhollow, and it's what I'm trying to do on my new films as well. It's like if I can get the story right and make it creepy, then hopefully all I need to do is put the camera and the character in that place, and then everything should be scary as like a follow on, you know, without me needing money for big set pieces or well,
totally.
just money.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, I feel like it sometimes even can be a hindrance, like on the creativity,
Yeah,
right? I feel like if you're just able to just get something and you just sort of wedge it in, you'll find if you've purchased something that's a lot, you're gonna find ways to wedge it in wherever, and
yeah,
it
that's true.
it may not
Yeah,
come as natural. So I think some of the and which probably comes from a lot of like different Bigfoot found footage films that I've seen anyway. Um, where they've got something they've just wedged it in and it doesn't necessarily work as well. I think with the way it is done in Foxhollow, it 100% works. There's that, and I read on IMDb that the scene where Bigfoot walks across when you're like looking in the tree, like what's that in the tree?
yeah,
You walked across that. The reason for that is because you'd forgot the mask or forgot the upper
yeah.
half.
Like she forgot the
So
entire head.
yeah,
So, like, and we'd started shooting too. Like it was, I think we'd started. So the film took like 2 years to shoot because I really naively met Paul, who plays Trapper, Paul Black, and was like, "Oh, we'll go and shoot this film over autumn. It'll look really pretty, and by the end of the year, well, we'll have made a feature because we both wanted to make a feature." And we're like, "Okay, great." And then didn't finish it. Had to wait till autumn the next year to come back and shoot the rest of it because I needed it to match. And that's when we ended up finishing off all the Paul stuff and then doing all the night bits, which basically just me and Amy just um, in woods kind of local to where I live. And yeah, the first day we got there though, it started raining, started shooting, and it was just it was a bit of a nightmare, man. It was like loads of people around. It's up in the valleys, it is, and there's no police station in the town, so there's a lot of like kids on like scrambler bikes and a lot of people partying and stuff. It's good for me because there's no cops to come and be like, "What are you doing?" But yeah, it's kind of noisy up there, so it's hard. Like on the way into, we walked past a couple like they had like a fucking blanket and they had like all these they had wine and everything laid out and stuff. And like Amy had like the full Bigfoot body on and like black across her eyes there, and I had like a bag full of really weird shit and all this gear. And like yeah, we weren't in there that long shooting, but when we came back to leave, like they had gone, man. They had just run away. I think they'd seen us and were just like, no. um,
that's
but yeah, we
that's
started
wild.
shooting and then started with that leg shot. And then she was like, I don't have the head. I was like, why? It's in the car. She was like, no, it's at home. I was like, oh, shit. Um, so quite a lot of that improvised stuff was how can we show Bigfoot without showing any kind of, because I did plan to kind of backlight him as much as possible and have the silhouette, you know. Um, but even with that, like, well, I took panel lights up there, like battery operated panel lights, and anytime you kind of backlit him and showed him too much, you just kind of saw the kind of bagginess of the costume or the creases or whatever. So it didn't quite, yeah, it didn't quite work. And it's another one of those things where I think like there's something to be said for kind of if you go out there and just put yourself out there and make something and trust in the process, then usually the things that go wrong at the time are things that actually work for the film later. You know, you can't see it at the time, but and it was another one of those things that was like, I'm glad we didn't show much of him, you know. And I think if we'd had the head, I would have been tempted to. So it worked out good.
Totally. Yeah, I thought it was a very memorable scene, right? There's a lot of Bigfoot found footage that prematurely show things or show things in a way that, is kind of like a
Yeah.
letdown, and I think that just helps to just build that tension, especially like um when you see throughout that there's sprinkles of like the Bigfoot in the background. Like that was a bit of a
Yeah.
revelation for me, and then watching it a second time, I was like trying to like
That's
look like if there
awesome.
was anything.
That's
I was
really
like,
cool.
maybe there's something here. It like makes you pay
Yeah,
attention, and it's
that's
a great
cool.
way to like you're you're telling your audience that like, oh, you didn't
You've
see it.
been there.
You better go
Yeah.
back and watch it again. It's a brilliant trick to like make people rewatch. I
It's
really
literally
commend
a
that.
straight rip from Lake Mungo, because Lake Mungo
Yeah,
is one of my favorite films of all time, and like those
definitely.
slow pull-ins past the shoulder of someone to see like the ghost in the background, or when they reveal that it's not the ghost and then it is, and it's like I that film had such a huge impact on me, and I love those slow pull-ins so much that once I came up with that, I was like, oh, I am directly pretty much ripping off Lake Mungo here, but if I can actually put uh, him in enough and hide him in the background. I think it was also Hill House, man, like the Netflix series that
Oh yeah.
Mike
Yes.
Flanagan did. There were so many ghosts in the background of that I spent most of my time just scanning the background reflections in windows just to see if I could spot them all. Um, so yeah, I love doing stuff like that. And like once I decided to make the film more of a documentary and do the talking head interviews, that was one of the first things I wrote, which was adding that bit. Because originally it was supposed to be completely found footage, just me and Paul in the woods. But I felt like I kind of
That
needed that extra dimension, you know?
right. And that was one of the most enjoyable things for me was the vagueness of the Bigfoot. Like it wasn't really, prominent. But also it really took me back because everybody always looks at the forefront of the movie when you're watching it for the first time. You don't notice all the things in the background. And for the
Yeah.
detective that was doing the commentary or the interview, he says, I noticed that, everything, all the movement in the background, and you go back and cut to it, and it's so
Mm,
many things that you miss, and it makes you want to go back and rewatch it again just to, watch all those little bits that you missed.
yeah.
Um, but one thing that and I wanted to bring up here, um, was it just me or was the Bigfoot eyes glowing?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that that's a good thing because I don't think a lot of Bigfoot filmmakers put that out there. You always wonder the cryptid Bigfoot, why it moves so well at night. Like, does it have bioluminescent vision
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
where like a cheetah, a cat, something like that
Yeah.
can see in the dark, and
Yeah.
nobody really talks about that, and I really like that.
Yeah, I think it should have eye shine because it's a mammal at the end of the day, right? Like it's an animal, so
Right.
it should have eye shine, and that was a trick that I'd learned years ago trying to make kind of Insidious Conjuring rip-off short films in my garage, and I used to cut circles out of reflective tape that cyclists use to put on their jackets and stuff, and you
Okay.
cut two circles out of it, and you put them on your eyelids, and then when your eyes are open, they're off, and then when you close your eyes, they come down. So if you blink in reverse, you can make these like little kind of ghostly, scary eyes in the corner of a room. And I used to do it with ghosts all the time. So when we needed the eye shine, I just cut two things of reflective tape and put them inside the mask, which scared the actor quite a lot because she couldn't see a thing then. So we were in the woods at night. There was loads of weird noises everywhere, and then she was like, "I can't see." Like it did actually. It was the only time she got scared was we completely blacked out her eyes with those reflective things.
That's
Brilliant,
wild.
man. That was good stuff.
Genius. And another thing I found that was quite interesting, especially when you um, get towards that sort of final sequence, is the explanation that Trapper gives for the low frequency bass noise that like
Mm,
disorients you, and like it's akin to like a club or like a rave. And I was like,
yeah,
that's one
yeah.
I've never really seen or really noticed being told before in a Bigfoot story.
I think it might be a
I thought it was
Dogman
great,
thing, maybe.
right?
I like it's infrasound that he's talking about, and I know it's definitely a dog man werewolf thing where people will feel sick or disorientated or dizzy or whatever because it seems to emit this immobilizing thing. And I think there has been like instances where Bigfoot have done it, or people have reported those kind of feelings around certain areas, accompanied with like strange smells and things.
Yeah.
I remember when I was like doing the research and writing it, that was definitely one of the things I was like, okay, I need to touch on infrasound because that could be how they're immobilizing people so easily, you know, and that's why I spew when I'm running after he roars at me is because the infrasound has got me and that makes me sick.
Yeah, I love that. I thought it was so impactful, and
Chicken
it
soup,
sets up that yeah, chicken soup is
cold,
that what it
cold
was?
chicken soup. Yeah,
Brilliant. Yeah. And I mean, it makes sense, especially if you're out in the woods for 3 days, just two guys who've probably not really had anything really substantial. That
yeah,
it makes
yeah,
sense that there
yeah,
would be like some form of soup or something like that that would be
yeah,
when you throw up. So I mean, even though it was probably a trick for just making fake sick, like it
yeah,
probably was more accurate than you would think. So
yeah,
yeah, it
yeah.
was fun.
Originally, when I wanted to go and shoot the film, like when I wrote it, I planned to actually go camping for a long weekend, and like this was my first naive idea. And I was like, I'll just go camping with actors and I'll come home with a feature. It'll be fucking easy.
Yeah.
And it was like 2 years of my life later, I was like, oh, I'm finally finishing this goddamn Bigfoot film. Like I had like 2 years where everyone I knew was like, how's Bigfoot doing? You know what I mean? Because I was like, yeah, I'm plugging away, man. Hopefully it's gonna get done.
And then here we are talking about it. So
Yeah, like somebody asked me on a podcast before, like, what am I most proud about? And I was like, just finishing the fucking thing, man. I'm so glad I finished the film because when you're doing a film with no money and you're doing everything yourself, like you're ice skating uphill the whole time, and a lot of the time, like, because the edit was so long, because I wrote it so loose, you just feel like kind of like a crazy person in a room by yourself, just obsessing over this weird film that no one's watched apart from you. Um,
yeah,
yeah.
that's awesome. And then with the found footage genre, it's there's so many great films. One thing I'm curious of, and it's probably more of a selfish thing because it's not one that I'm too familiar, even though I'm from Scotland. What are some of the like British found footage movies that you've seen or watched that you love that really doesn't get a lot of attention or notice from people? For me personally, I just saw the last horror movie and I thought it was fantastic.
Is
So if
that
you
like late 80s or early 90s? The last, oh no, the
uh
last broadcast I'm thinking of. That's
last
late
yeah
80s.
last
Yeah,
last
yeah,
broadcast is 98. It predates Blair Witch.
yeah, yeah.
The last horror movie is a British found footage film where the premise is that the guy he is killing people and he's taped over a movie called The Last Horror Movie and he's put it into rental shops and he's
Okay.
basically making it so that when people rent it, he just follows them and like kills them.
Oh,
And he's
cool.
very eclectic. And it's all I think it's set in like London
Yeah.
and had heard of it before, randomly saw it at like a thrift store on DVD, immediately grabbed it and watched it probably in the last like couple of months, and it
Yeah.
was fantastic. Very,
Cool.
very well done.
Cool.
So
I'll look for it. Off
yeah,
the top of my head, though, I can't think of any. But I mean, they must exist, but I can't think of any.
another
Uh,
another one that I think gets good amount of praise is it's called Borderlands or The Final Prayer
oh
in the
yeah, that's
US is
good.
called.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
another good one.
that
I
is
know
good.
a lot of people talk about Exhibit A. I haven't seen it, but
No,
I've heard a lot of people talk about it. It's really one of those like hard hitting, like bleak type of found
okay.
footage horror.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, yeah, I'm not as clued in on my British found footage. But
No, I watch a lot of UK stuff, but it I don't find that much found footage coming from here. I did. There is a good YouTube series made by some kids, I think, in maybe the Midlands or something in England, called No Through Road, and they made 2 or 3, I think. They're like 15-minute episodes. First one's really good, especially as it's made by what seems to be like college-age kids. That was really cool. I think maybe I find more UK horror stuff on YouTube than I do kind of released properly, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And
Okay.
from Wales as well. Like that's why I wanted to set the film in Wales and everybody to speak using their normal voices and have Welsh accents and stuff in it, because a lot of the stuff that comes out of Wales is funny or kind of jokey in a way that it takes the piss out of the place a little bit. And I wanted to just make something that is from here but isn't taking the piss out of being Welsh and is actually a serious film, you know, and just shows like Welsh people in places, like in natural places, like talking like we talk. And I've done the same with my new feature. Is this, you know, I'm all over kind of South Wales for that, in a lot of different places, so a lot of different people. So hopefully, like it'll start to put it on, not on the map, but like just show people that like there are people in the UK like doing kind of indie films in that way, especially within the found footage genre. Because most of the directors I know do horror, but do like much higher budget than me, like Charlie Steeds with Dark Temple Motion Pictures. Like he's in London, he does a lot of similar stuff. And a guy called Andrew Jones I used to work for when I started camera assistant. He's done a lot of stuff in Wales, actually, larger budget things.
Nice. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
And his
No.
stuff's on Netflix now too. So if you have Netflix, check out North Bank Entertainment. And if you watch a film called The Curse of Halloween Jack, which is about a guy in a burlap sack killing people, then you can see me in a dance scene with my hair out getting killed by him.
It's funny because when I was looking through like IMDb just to check in,
Yeah,
um, I'm fairly certain I've seen that film randomly. Like we were going through like Amazon or Tubi or something like
yeah.
that, and I'm fairly certain that my girlfriend picked out Curse of Halloween Jack, and we put it
Who
on
is it?
randomly. So now I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
rewatch it and try and point you out. That'll be
It
awesome.
was a really fun. It was a really fun shoot, and he like, unfortunately he died a few years ago. The director that I was working with, but he was a clever guy. Like I learned a lot from him about how to schedule things, using kind of Airbnbs to shoot, getting blocking off actors and shooting all this stuff in one day kind of thing. And yeah, I learned a lot from Andrew Jones, man. He was a good guy.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Um, I lost my train of thought. Yeah. Oh, yes. The other thing, you mentioned there about, Welsh um, and the film industry and TV industry. One thing that I know that I watched a lot when I was younger was Dirty Sanchez,
Yeah,
which
same.
is the epitome of, what I thought was, Welsh culture. Because you would see things like,
Yeah,
Little Britain and all that, and they would like make fun of
yeah,
that, and like
yeah, yeah,
there's a lot of comedians. Rob Brydon, I think he's Welsh, and he's very like
yeah,
a proud Welshman. And
yeah, yeah.
Dirty Sanchez was
Michael Sheen
one.
as well, like,
Yes, yeah, Michael Sheen, fantastic actor. Um,
yeah,
The Damned United is a fantastic film. That
yeah,
I loved that. But yeah, Dirty Sanchez was very. I don't want to say influential to me when I was younger, but me
yeah,
and my
yeah,
friend were like very much like we like Jackass, but Dirty Sanchez like was for
yeah.
me the best. My
It
sister got
was
to
like
meet.
the underground skate
Yeah,
version, wasn't it? A Jackass.
yeah,
That's why it was fucking cool.
it was
And like for
really
me,
cool.
like Dainton's from where I'm from, Newport. So
Wow.
seeing Newport on MTV was crazy. You know what I mean? Like I was college age, I think, when that came out. So yeah, it was a big influence on me as well, like seeing all that stuff. And the skate park where we showed Fox Hollow when we did the premiere in Cardiff, like that guy is part of that scene and knows all those guys and used to shoot like
Amazing.
skate videos on like big like, what was it, DX100s, like those cameras with the top handle, you know, to shoot skate
Yeah.
videos. Yeah, it's a cool scene, man. Like, I'm hoping my new film, I'm shooting a film on VHS at the moment, that isn't found footage. It's like a really crazy superhero B movie. And I'm hoping I can get some skaters in that and maybe show that around skate parks and that kind of scene. Because I feel like those kind of old school skate video people might dig it, hopefully.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, my sister, she got to meet Pritchard and Dayton at like a freshers week when she was in college, and
Oh
I was
yeah,
like, I never got to meet them, never got to like go to any like events that they were at, and then she was like randomly sends me a picture. She's like, look how I bumped into her. I'm like, you fucking little,
that's great. Yeah, they
and
used to do
it's
like loads
awesome.
of events like that, didn't they? They would just go and get smashed
Yeah,
and like hurt themselves on stage and do loads of shots and get paid for it.
yeah, pretty much. And
It's
for
awesome.
David to explain to you what Dirty Sanchez is, it's like if you haven't heard of it, it's like Jackass, but it's like there's full frontal male nudity is always what they what they would say. Um, and it's just this extreme version where they're all like these like really good skateboarders, and they they do this most insane stuff that people in Jackass wouldn't do, and they made like 3 films, and they're all just the most intense. Like one time, the guy like fucking cuts off the tip of his finger with a samurai sword when they're in Japan, and yeah, like and it shows you the whole thing of them fucking hitting him with a sword, and it chips off the tip of his finger. So check it out for
Yeah,
sure.
it's crazy.
It's it's chaotic, and they showed it on
Yeah.
MTV. It was on MTV.
That's what's crazy
Um,
is how MTV picked it up and had it on there for years. Like it was like three or
yeah,
4 years or something they were doing those series. Like, and it's cool they've kept doing stuff too. Like Pritchard does like vegan food, and he's got barbers and stuff in Cardiff. Dainton was running a tattoo shop for a while in Cwmbran, which is not far from Newport, like where I'm from. I got my like Friday the 13th little. They do those £13 tattoos on Friday the 13th. So I
nice.
got a little Jason mask there in Dayton shop, isn't it? And I think Pancho's doing clothes now, like because he's from Port Talbot. He's got a clothing thing called San Portalbo, which is like really swanky looking clothes, but all about Port Talbot, which is like a really industrial factory town by Swansea.
I love that.
I was listening to y'all talking about Dirty Sanchez, and I was getting the gist of where y'all were getting at with it, but in my mind, I was thinking this means totally something totally different on my side of
Right.
the
I
And
think
of
it
the
and
means the
world.
same thing.
it's the
It
same
means the
thing.
same thing to
Yeah,
them.
they would and I think from I watched a lot of it, right? So there's a lot of references that I understand, and they would play a game. They play a game called Bum Drum, where they would stick drumsticks up their bum, and then they would go ass to ass against each other, and they would knock against the sticks, and whoever's drumstick fell out, they had to give themselves a Dirty Sanchez. And that's I think that's where the name came from,
Yeah.
because they would do crazy shit like that. They would play bum drum, and yeah.
Okay, now
So
I've
it's
got
a
to
hundred
look
percent
this
what
up.
you think.
Yeah.
You should.
Okay.
But the grittiness, like the found footage has always been like a part of my life in some way, shape, or form, and like those types of shows, the grittiness of it, like
Yeah.
the sort of skater mentality behind it, the shooting, the filming, always gave me sort of found footage type vibes, and
Yeah.
I think that's probably why I loved it so much. It was set in the UK. It wasn't like this mega star, Johnny Knoxville or Steve-O or Bam or whatever. Like it was like just a couple of
Local
fucking
guys.
head cases from the UK,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
representing on a big stage, and it
Yeah.
really like helped like in Europe and like everywhere else. Like there was a lot of different like you see like the Dudesons and then the Tokyo
Oh
Shop
yeah.
Boys and all them are like connected
Yeah.
in a way, and it's just there's like a whole like underground genre of just like pain
Yeah.
inflicting entertainment.
I think for me, like when I was college age, seeing people who were from where I was from on telly being themselves definitely made me it helped me like have the confidence I think to think that I could do creative things and put them out there from Wales, and the same with like bands and stuff as well, like doing music and then putting that out with labels. Like being from a small town in Wales doesn't matter if you make stuff if you work hard enough, and you make stuff half decent, then hopefully people check it out. And like hopefully that's what I can do now is if I keep going and then somebody college age now living by me can be like, oh, this dude's down the road and he's making stuff and putting it out. I can do the same thing. And you don't need to go to London or have loads of money or do film school or do any of those things to be a filmmaker. You just need to love film and study it obviously, and then go out and learn as you go in, and you can do that here. In fact, like Wales is really good because the landscapes are amazing, and people don't use it that much, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like such a great way to showcase that because there is, and I think in Scotland as well, there's a lot of that
Yeah,
sort of same mentality. I think I always found sort of similarities between Scotland and Wales in
yeah,
terms of
yeah.
that. It's very much like we understand each other. I think everywhere in the UK except England,
It
we all
literally, yeah.
we all understand each other, and then it's just
When I
like
went to
this is like the
Ireland, it
big
was the
brother.
same thing. Like I've had Scottish mates I work with in kitchens. I've been to Scotland. I've been to Ireland. Whenever I go to those places, as soon as they know I'm Welsh, like, okay, we're on the same page then. We probably don't have much money, but like we're pretty decent people. Apart from, yeah, when you go to like posh places in England, and they're like, ah, riffraff.
Absolutely, I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
But no, that's great, and you're so right there. Like local people that see that, and you really don't know your reach until you've reached people, right? And this is such a great example of you know a type of film that like really will help inspire people. I know for myself, I felt inspired watching it,
That's
and
cool, man.
it really was such a well shot, well thought out. It was very meticulous in the way that the pacing was done so well, and it just was just so good. So
A
I
lot of that stuff I had
again
to
am a fan.
find afterwards because I wrote it so loose because I'd read the Blair Witch book about how they made it. And there's obviously the stories of them creeping around and actually scaring them and giving them maps and directions to go to without telling them what was going to happen that day. So the actors were reacting to real things happening around them. And like I took that to heart and really loosely bullet pointed the scenes and where we needed to go. But because I hadn't acted in a film before and really respect the actors that I was working with, I didn't want to know what Paul as Trapper was going to say to me at any point, and I didn't want him to know what I was going to say to him, just to give me a chance of reacting honestly and not wrecking the film and my performance, basically. So I just bullet pointed each scene. I knew what was going to happen, how it was going to end, and where we were going to go. But as far as the dialogue and stuff, most of the dialogue in the film we're kind of improvising as we go. Especially my stuff. A lot of the scenes are improvised, and a lot of the pacing and things I had to find in the edit. That's why the edit took me so long, maybe like a year and a half to cut it, because I left it so loose in the shooting that I really had to go through everything and try and structure it in the edit, which I don't do anymore. I don't do it super scripted, but my new film I'm doing now, I've scripted tighter than Foxhollow just to save me the year of pain afterwards, looking through
Totally.
hours and hours of footage,
Hell yeah. Oh, that makes total sense.
And I think like as far as the amping up, like I really wanted it to be a curve, and that curve at the end that builds up and is kind of like one set piece was from the new Blair Witch actually, like the Adam Wingard one. Like as soon as they
Mm.
get into the house, and VHS does it too, like VHS 2 especially. There's a lot of really cool set pieces with whip cuts, hiding cuts, and they play out like these 5-10 minute roller coaster rides, and I just love that. That's that's something I think I'm always going to try and do in my films, and something I've been working on with my new film in the edit as well. Is like having something that once you hit play on that last night, then you're just on this like roller coaster. It's just trying to shoot it all in a way that links and have it kind of make sense in that way. Um, but yeah, that's something I really want to do. I think that's something that found footage does better than any other kind of subgenre of horror. Is like once you are immersed and once you know the story and you know what's going on, you can take the viewer on this computer game like first person experience. That's really cool.
Yeah, I love that. It's such an immersive type of filmmaking, and
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
definitely a journey that I know I love going on a nice
yeah,
found footage adventure.
yeah,
So and it is, it's like that first part, like some of the scariest even video games I've played are that
yeah,
first person view where you're like, especially if you're like sitting in a dark room and you're like
yeah,
playing someone who's holding a torch and the battery is slowly dying. Like, fuck,
yeah, yeah.
that's so
Visage,
scary.
man. Did you play Visage? That scared me.
No, I didn't. No.
Visage is good, man. That scared me.
Yeah, another one that scared me was the Until Dawn game. I don't know
Oh
why, but
yeah,
like
that's cool.
it really like I guess just the design of it and like
Yeah,
how
yeah,
subtle it was. But when you're like, fuck, I can't look around this tree. I just
yeah.
can't because I know that I'm gonna scream. And
They did the Blair Witch game good too with the camcorder and stuff, where you're like having to film and the camcorder shows you different things with the night vision. That was good.
yeah, I
Um,
never got to play it, but
it's good, man. Yeah, it is
yeah,
good.
I played a little bit of it. It was really good. I enjoyed that
Yeah,
one.
that scared me. I think I played it a few Christmases ago and just sat in the house and just played that for like 4 days straight, and it was fucking
wow,
awesome. Really, really good. Yeah, I
Wow.
think games are a huge influence on found footage. Like for me anyway, like um I think found footage films for the structure and everything, but then games for like the immersiveness you can
mm,
get from it. I'd love to shoot something that was just like no explanation and no story and just drops you into like this POV and then you just have to deal with it for however long uh, you're in there. That would be really cool. I think if I ever get some kind of budget, I would use it to get loads of actors and lighting cues to happen in those like really long sequences, so I can have lightning
yeah,
going off and then people running around and
nice. Yeah, that'd be dope.
yeah, yeah. If I ever get a budget, that's what I'm gonna do.
Oh yeah.
The little short videos that on YouTube that got me, where you're kind of just dropped into something, not knowing where it's gonna go or anything like that, are the back rooms. Have you ever seen those videos?
Yeah, yeah, they're awesome, man.
Yeah, I like that. And I think A24 is putting out a film on the back rooms coming up.
Oh, okay, cool. There's a new
Yeah.
one. Fuck, I don't know what the channel's called. It's made in, I think, Unreal Engine or Blender or one of those 3D
Mm.
compositing things. And this guy has made this like he's made these videos of abandoned houses through cornfields and wheat fields. And the videos just start with I think it's called Roscoe Park or Briscoe Park.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It'll
Yeah,
be
I think it's
like
Bisco
take
Park.
006 or something. It'll just be a guy in a field, but he's like he's animating the camera to move through those. He's making those places in Blender, and then he's putting all the lighting effects in and the weather, and then he's placing a virtual camera in it, and then animating the movie um, without leaving his house, and they look amazing. Yeah,
That's
they're
Wow,
really
insane.
cool.
that's why I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah,
Yeah, if I was
I think
computer
we
savvy, I
yeah,
would try
to
that. I would try that
totally.
kind of thing. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I think we follow him on Instagram, David. So I'll
Yeah, he's cool.
send you a couple of posts. Yeah, they're creepy. They're really creepy looking, really
Yeah,
immersive. So
yeah, yeah.
I didn't even think it was like Blender.
I
Like
thought it was real when I first saw
yeah,
it.
I thought it was
Yeah,
real. So that's blew my
totally.
mind.
And then
Um,
I don't know how I think I looked into the guy and then was like, wait, what? Like, because I watched the whole video and didn't realize, and then was like, fuck, and went back and watched again. I was like, okay, I can see it now. Like, you'll notice it now that I've said. You'll be like, ah, okay, yeah, there is something, but. Yeah, it's so clever. And that's how the Kane Pixels was doing the backrooms as well, wasn't it? It was like Blender and those kind of 3D engines where he was making those things.
yeah,
It's
kudos
cool
to them.
stuff.
Kudos
Yeah,
to
it's
them.
cool stuff.
That's cool. Hell yeah. Um, when when you were making Foxhollow, what were what were some of the challenges that you faced that you had while you were shooting in the woods? I mean, I know it's probably a quite a tumultuous place. I know you mentioned there about people and all that, but like in terms of like the technical aspect, like was there any issues with like sound or
Yeah,
the
sounds
actual camera
sounds
work?
big. The camera work was difficult. I think what was difficult from my perspective was I was trying to get decent sound, shoot everything, and act at the same time. And I put a GoPro on Paul, so I was always on camera for my reaction shots, and then I was shooting him with a vlogging camera. And then we were running sound through like two lapel mics, and I had a little sound recorder that would either be on me or on Paul, depending on who kind of um, and I think like sound was an issue. The wind kind of was stronger than I thought it was going to be, so there is some kind of dodgy sound in the film. And also, I think the main challenge for me was trying not to react to what was going on as a filmmaker and as the director of the film. I had to kind of park the part of my brain that was directing the movie and then just act. So usually when I'm watching a take, I'm paying attention to where I'm going to cut and how I'm going to cut it. I'm cutting it in my head as I'm watching what the actor's doing. So it was difficult when Paul nailed something for me not to react as a director because I wanted to be like, fuck yeah, do that bit again. But like, I like I had to hide all my excitement or like when he nailed something or I couldn't give him any notes until the take was over. So a lot of it was me trying to keep my face neutral whilst also trying to frame him properly and make sure the sound was okay. So it was a lot, man. Like it was I guess there's a reason people don't make films single-handedly because it's fucking really hard. And like some in suffers, if you're doing the camera and you're acting okay, then the sound won't be so good. And if the sound's really good, maybe you fucked up the camera or so it is a bit of a juggle to try and get it all to land. And like I feel like there's definitely times to it in Foxhollow where like I wish the sound was better or I didn't frame stuff properly because I was acting, especially when I'm acting scared or I'm running or there's a scene where I'm in an argument with Paul and me and him are hashing out whether we stay or go home. I really wanted to make sure my acting was decent because I knew his would be. Uh, but there's shots in there where he's framed and it like his head's like down here in my frame, you know what I mean? And I'm like, he's barely in the fucking shot, man. But like, I don't know. I think you have to just kind of choose which one you're going to focus on, because you can't do them all immaculately if you're going to shoot in this way.
Totally.
I I don't think there were too many other challenges apart from the usual, like just shooting places without permission, and without any money to give to people anyway. You're at the mercy of like whatever's going on there at the time, and like trying to uh, trying to get the shots that you need um, in a found footage situation is kind of more difficult as a director working with actors because if the actors have got a really solid idea of what's happening and a script and everything and they know what's going on, then they're kind of turning up prepared and they know what's going to happen. With found footage, especially as loose as I scripted Foxhollow, I had to kind of explain the gist of things and what I was going for with it, but I had to leave it loose enough so they could have some input as well. So I wasn't. But it was also kind of difficult to make sure I got exactly what I wanted because I didn't want to limit the acting too much from the other actors. I wanted them, especially Paul, I wanted him to be able to take me through the woods and show me things. Like the first 20 minutes of the film is day one of me shooting with him. And I literally turned on my camera and was like, okay, walk me through this entire woods and show me all the Bigfoot evidence. And I'd given him books before and I'd given him podcasts to listen to. I'd given him YouTube videos to listen to. I'd sent him the Missing 411 David Paulides stuff as well about missing people and things. And then I just trusted him and just went, okay, just show me all the stuff then. So a lot of the things when he's like, oh, this is when they snap this off to do this, or this is them sent in, or whatever it is, he's just using all the research he's done and just flying off the top of his head, and I'm just trying to film it. And funny, when I was on about shooting weddings earlier, like that helped me a lot with like shooting on the fly, capturing stuff as it happens, and composing shots on the fly and making sure things are still like technically okay. The pressure of shooting weddings definitely helped me like do that, I think.
Brilliant. Yeah, I love that. And I think it also leans more into that sort of Blair Witch mentality. Like a lot of that was there was a lot of trust from
Yeah,
the filmmakers around that to put into the hands of the three main people, because I
yeah,
mean that's where the film is, and that's where you capture some of the best unscripted like moments, or
mm,
where it is very loose, but I think with that you leave yourself open for like
yeah,
a big sort of downfall could potentially happen here.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think that's the excitement in that, like, it
yeah,
comes from a very passionate place, and it's like, you know what, we're gonna fucking risk it all for this.
yeah.
And yeah, no, it's
There
awesome.
was bits where there's a look he gives at the camera when he's like, when we're looking at the log, and he's like, imagine what they could do to a man's head, and he kind of raises his eyebrow and looks at me. And that was a difficult one for me to not be like, fuck yeah, that was all. Like, that was one of those moments where I was like, okay, it's working, you know. And that was on day one when we're walking through. And I didn't know Paul too well. He used to tattoo, so my partner knew him from the tattoo scene. I'd met him like once or twice before,
Wow.
and I'm going, okay, we've either got something or we haven't. And then it was moments like that where internally I'm going, okay, this could be something. Like maybe I can make a film out of this, you know. Like he's fucking nailing it. Like this could work. And then once I got that with all the actors, it just became, how do I not fuck this up with my acting? Like how do I make sure that I'm doing it okay enough to carry this film now that I've cast myself as the lead? Um, but luckily, like I could go reshoot stuff as much as I needed to, and
Very true.
the
Um,
luxuries of being the lead.
Totally. And what another quote that I noted from the film is when you're walking through and you see all the restricted signs or like trespassing signs, like we're restricted areas or for restricted people. And I was like,
Dude, I love that too.
that's a great line, because
And
it's
I had
such
no
like a
idea he's gonna say it.
like, right, and it's like it comes from that mentality of someone who is like a conspiracy theorist, or
Yeah,
like that is something that someone like that would
yeah,
absolutely say. So that
yeah,
stood out to me as is a really good
yeah.
quote.
The reason I cast Paul as well is because he's an outsider, like me,
Yeah,
and he thinks on the outside of things, and he's kind of doing life his own way, and like I'm the same. So I knew we were going to get along. And then yeah, little gems he came out with like that. I was like, yes, that's the one. And I'd like. He's in character as he's saying it, but I think that's just a Paul thing, I think he probably just thinks that anyway. That's why he's a
exactly.
good guy for the role.
And it's funny because when I was watching it, like I like Peep Show a lot. My
Yeah,
partner's
me
a
too.
huge Peep Show fan.
Yeah.
He reminds me a lot of Super Hands. I don't know if you thought of that before, but he reminds me a
No,
lot of
I
Super
haven't.
Hands.
I like super hands though.
Where he doesn't live in the realm of that normal plane of thinking.
Yeah,
He's very much outside of the box,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it gave me a lot of Super Hands vibes
That's cool, man.
in the performance. So yeah, I just wanted to
That's
mention
cool.
that.
Yeah. I think maybe that's kind of my underlying goal of my films, is to make films about weird kind of outsiders outside of society, and uh like my new film's also about kind of obsession, and like trying to find somebody that has gone missing and been obsessed with this missing person case, and unraveling this kind of local legend around where I live. And like I look, pretty much everything I write is kind of that outsider film perspective, I guess, which hopefully, like, for horror people or metal people or underground people or whoever's going to watch my movies, hopefully they're like, oh, he's making stuff like he's one of us talking to us, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I love that. I love that. David, I think it may be time for your question
Oh
of the
yeah.
hour.
So actually, before we go into that question, I had another question before that. So
Oh, yeah.
I know you mentioned that you've done like some music videos for some bands like that. Very into metal music. I am into metal music as well. What are some of your favorite bands?
I think Electric Wizard is my favorite band. Kind of gone to Doom a lot more recently. I really like death metal, like I guess Mortician, I'm wearing the top. But like underground death metal, I was really into like the last maybe 4 or 5 years. Cerebral Rot, the first two molds are good. Like I guess like Cannibal Corpse, like the first 4 or 5 Cannibal Corpse, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Black metal as well. Like I run a black metal label called Nocturnal Curse, and I do like a zine where I speak to dungeon synth and black metal artists every month. So like really big on like Lamp and Murmur at the moment. It's really good. Necrofire, I've done some videos for. They're good too. They just got signed to Metal Blade.
Oh wow.
And then the classics, man, like Dark Throne and Immortal and all the old stuff, like
Right.
anything. I, it's nostalgia as well, isn't it? It's like when I got into
Right.
it, Bathory and Venom and stuff. It was like that was kind of what it was all about. So yeah, just anything underground and heavy.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff, man. Yeah, I grew up so I'm from Texas originally, so Pantera is always my favorite band
Yeah, yeah,
because Dimebag and Vinny are out from Dallas area.
yeah,
But yeah, I stick to different genres within metal, so I'll go like some of the older like 90s 2000 bands like Cradle of Filth,
yeah,
Children of Bodom, Dying Fetus is another one. I like Dying
yeah. It's
Fetus. They're
awesome.
good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
went to
of
see
course,
them last
Cannibal.
year.
Oh, you went to go see him?
Yeah, they were fucking awesome, man. So good.
Nice. Yeah, I wish they came my way, but yeah, they haven't unfortunately, but hopefully one day.
Yeah, they're real
But
good live.
yeah, yeah, they got some good stuff, man. But yeah, yeah, metals.
And
I've
Pantera, dude, like Pantera was like my favorite band in the entire world from when I was like, I don't know, like 13 to like 20 or something. Like I've got a CFH on my leg. Like for my 15th birthday, I went to like HMV, which is like a chain shop that used to exist, and I bought the three vulgar videos from hell, the
oh
home
yeah, yeah.
movies,
Hmm.
like on VHS, and they're 18s too. I didn't even realize they were 18s. I just went up to the counter when I was 15 and bought it, and they sold it to me. So fucking awesome. So like on my like 15th birthday, then I was like watching these fucking amazing like crazy party VHS that they made, and like for years, man, every time we used to drink before we went out or like played a gig or whatever, because I was playing in thrash bands when I was a teenager, we'd always like have the Pantera home movies on and just do shots of Blacktooth and fucking Jaeger bombs, and it was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
those videos are classic, man. I
they're
love it.
amazing.
Yeah, and I got to see them
Oh, nice.
96,
Oh,
98,
amazing.
maybe. Yeah, I got to see them with so I want to say the opener was Nothing Face, and the band that came on before them was Soulfly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. So but yeah, I got to see it was right about the time Reinventing the Steel had come out that year, I think. And yeah, it was at our Coliseum here. But it was good, man. It was a good show. I'd
That's
never seen
cool.
Pantera ever, and that was the last time I got to see him. But yeah,
Oh, that's
it was a
awesome you
very good
did.
show. Yeah,
I love Reinventing the Steel too. I feel like Reinventing the Steel and what was the one, Great Seven Tranquil before
and
it, like
Kill.
doesn't
Yeah,
get enough love, man. Like I liked it at the time, but like I think Reinvent the Steel is the one maybe I go back to the most now. And
yeah,
like since then I've gone back and checked out like all the power metal stuff and like all the cheesy stuff they did with Big Hair before too, and that's cool too. Like you can
right.
hear Dimebag starting to like rip. Like you can hear the soul, like the way the solos, you can hear them start to be built, and you can hear Phil's voice like every now and again he'll go into the kind of voice he was doing on like Cowboys from Hell or Far Beyond Driven. Yeah, it's
I
awesome.
I really got a kick out of the album cover because they were doing the power metal thing, the whole hair band thing, and then they just like went to not vulgar display, Cowboys from Hell, and you saw
Yeah,
that transition. Then they went to vulgar
yeah,
display of power, and it was just crazy, just
yeah, yeah.
brutality in that album.
Yeah, fucking awesome. The like, it's crazy. Like I feel lucky, man, growing up at that time and being into all that kind of stuff because like pretty extreme music, like Morbid Angel and stuff was on like MTV2 when I was growing up. That's how I ended up directing music videos. Was I used to watch MTV2 all the time, and I used to put Headbangers Ball on to record because it was on at midnight. So I'd record it on video, and then the next day just sit and watch the whole show, be like 2 hours or whatever. And in one night, man, like I recorded one Headbangers Ball show, and in that show was like, I'm Broken was on there, Seasons in the Abyss was on there. I think like Roots Bloody Roots was on. Like it was insane. Like God of Emptiness, the Morbid Angel song was on there. Like all in this one episode of Headbangers Ball, I got like Machine Head, Pantera, Slayer, Morbid Angel, like all of them in just one go, and I was just like, fuck.
Wow,
Wow.
Yeah. And then
that
since then,
show's
it's just
great, man.
like, yeah, that's it. Never look back in it. Amazing.
Yeah, I really miss those days of MTV. Now, well,
Yeah.
didn't MTV now they ceased to exist, but they went into the reality TV thing for so many years and
Yeah.
just steered away from the whole music television thing, and that was kind of
Yeah.
sad. But yeah, I really miss all the music video days.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody yesterday about how the Cradle of Filth, her Ghost in the Fog was like one of the first videos I saw that was like, I really want to make music videos. That was one of the things that made me want to shoot music videos. Um, I think Alex Chandon made that actually. Have you seen any of Alex Chandon's short films? Um,
No.
oh my
No.
God. Dude, he made all this like really crazy shot on video VHS films in the 90s when he was like, I think he was early 20s. There's one called Bad Karma that's really good. And there's one called Drill Bit as well. That's like a post-apocalyptic punks in
Oh,
leather
okay.
jackets. Like, and he shot it all running and gunning around kind of where he lived. I think maybe in London. Um, yeah, a lot of like really punk VHS filmmaking in abandoned buildings with like really amazing practical gore effects. And then he ended up doing the Cradle of Fear film,
Oh
the
yeah.
Oh
Cradle of
yeah,
Filth.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was like what he did afterwards. But if you go a couple of years before that, there's some really good like VHS gems you should check out, man.
Awesome, man. I'm gonna have to check those out. Yeah, I saw the Cradle of Fear, man. That was good stuff. But I mean, if he's got other stuff before that, definitely I want to check that out.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really punk.
Yeah,
Nice, nice.
we have a copy of Cradle of Fear on VHS in
Nice.
Oh
in
shit.
the VHS room. Serena likes to find random
I would
she's
expect
really into
nothing less from
VHS.
Serena.
She's yeah, she has an eye, and yeah, that was
Yeah, that's
one.
cool.
And I'd seen it randomly. My friend showed it to me. And was like, "Did you know that Cradle of Filth? They made a like a horror movie?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "You need to see it." So
It's
then
so
we watched it.
ridiculous.
And I
It's
was like,
amazing.
"Holy shit!"
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Love
Nice.
it.
Yeah. So one final question that I like to ask at the end of the show, just to make it fun, have fun with it. So you're sitting down, it's movie night, you're gonna put on something, good, or you're gonna relax. What is your go-to snack for movie night?
Snack.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
it could,
cool. My
yeah.
head was already like, oh, well, I've got the movie queued up. I'm ready. My go-to snack though. Do you know what, dude? Like when I was younger, it would just be pizza. I'd always get pizza. And like I'm 40 next year, and my heartburn is so bad that I can't eat in the evenings anymore. Like I used to be able to eat whenever I wanted and just go to bed. And now it's like if I eat snacks at like 9 p.m., when I go to bed, I'm just gonna have the worst heartburn in the entire world, and it's gonna be a nightmare. I'm gonna be up again. So these days, maybe I'll just have a drink. I'll have like a whiskey and coke or a beer with a film and maybe some popcorn. But yeah, back in the day, it would just be all the pizzas or popcorn mixed with like chocolate
Yeah.
nuts in, like those nuts covered in chocolate mixed in with it. That was good too. Like the
Nice,
closest I
nice.
get to that these days is going to the cinema by myself in the daytime. I like to go like in the afternoon when everyone's at work. I not like I can just get in. Usually it's just like me and like two other weird middle-aged guys by themselves, and that's my time to like pig out and watch movies now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, I feel you on that one. I'm gonna be 42 in February,
Yeah,
and that heartburn thing is real, man. At night.
nightmare, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
bad. Yeah,
You
it's
need
real
you need
bad.
the Amish remedy that we got you that one time. You remember that,
Oh
David?
yeah, yeah. It was some kind of like the vinegar was super strong in it, but they had like 8 or 10 weird ingredients that came in a jar, and we picked it up at a gas station. We were in Michigan in the Amish area, and I
Yeah,
was having real bad heartburn, digestive issues, and it was the worst tasting shit you could ever taste, but it worked.
that's the main. Yeah, that's good.
I think it was like apple cider vinegar based was
Yeah.
the thing, and then yeah, it cured it right up because it was like a solid day. You're like, damn man, this heartburn's really like getting to me. And we found this store and this little tiny little bottle that was like there was no real ingredients in it that you could really decipher. It was like a handwritten fucking label and shit
Amazing.
with some Amish magic and sorted them right out.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tom, thank you so much for joining us. This has been an absolute blast,
yeah. It was
and
great,
Thank you.
man. Thanks.
we've had such a great time. And you know, this last little bit, you know, just really let people know where to find you, what you've got coming up, and we'll let you get back to
Cool.
your dog in the
Um,
edit.
yeah. So yeah, you can find me as ritual_video. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Um, So at the moment, I'm finishing up two new features. So FOXHOLLOW is out digitally at the moment on POV Horror. Hopefully, it's going to get wider distribution in the new year. We're just sorting out the worldwide submission stuff right now. Once that goes through, hopefully it'll be on like a lot more platforms, so more people get to see it. But you can see it on POV Horror at the moment. We're also doing a Blu-ray run of the film again. So if you missed the crowdfund, then you should be able to grab a Blu-ray directly from me in the new year. And yeah, I'm working on two new features. One is a found footage film similar to FOXHOLLOW, which is me playing the lead again and getting kind of embroiled in this strange local legend. It's like a supernatural thing. And the other is an absolutely insane shot on video VHS film, which started life as a slasher film and is now a really dark superhero film. With me wrapped in bandages, killing people with garden instruments. I shot a scene the other day where I trimmed somebody's face off, which was really fun. So that's going to come out next summer. Um, yeah, thanks for the time, man. I really enjoyed it. It was great.
Amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
and with the found footage film, like whenever that's done and you want
Yeah,
to promote it, absolutely let us know. More than
yeah.
happy to have you on to chat about it again,
Thanks.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'll send it to you when it's done, man. Hopefully in the new year. Well, we'll see how tonight's screening for my girlfriend goes. If she hates it, maybe it'll be a little bit longer, but see how we get on.
I love it. But yeah, thanks very much, Tom.
Thank
Take
No
you.
care.
worries. Thanks, guys.